Hey, everybody. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hey, I just before we kind of get started tonight, wanted to let you guys know that we have no internet, and I'm trying to do this off the hotspot on my phone, and so we're going to give it a shot. But all the internet's down where I'm at because of the ice storm. So if it gets glitchy, that's why, and if I just lose you, that's why. So I just wanted to apologize up front, but I did all I could do to get us here.
Can they hear you?
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Let's start there. Yeah. Can everybody hear us? Let me see here. Yep, everyone's Eagle Lover can hear us. Let's get some hellos done here real quick. Hey, Terminator, what's up? How are you? The Rickster, good evening. Eagle Lover, good evening. Jules, good evening. Rita Welch. Did anybody watch Pinball's latest video about the number of train? I didn't watch the video, but I'm pretty aware of it. B was actually doing some research today that she'll talk about the derailments. Milk and Honey, good evening to you. Keep going down here. Prep for the Eternal Homestead. Hello, hello. You got Milk and Honey.
Did you see Rickster?
Yep, of course. I remember him real easy because he's the guy that can do everything.
Yeah, I didn't know if you saw him up there.
Carlene,
Yeah,
how are
could
you?
Forget that.
Right. Drummondson Live. Hey, Indiana Mike. Ahoy. I hope the travels were well. We had a good time with you guys. Yep, Silver Linings here. Good evening. I think I tricked everybody earlier tonight because I went ahead and went live on a different live to test my cell phone connection.
Oh.
And a bunch of people jumped on. I didn't mean to do all to you guys. Skanes Girl, hello. Deborah, hello. Bonnie, good evening from Florida. Yep. And Terminator says she can hear us all the way from Ontario, Canada.
Okay, good.
Yep. Janine, how's it going?
Means it's working.
Yep. Pack Rat, hello. Still Roz, hello. Hilltop Homestead, good to see you. Long time no see. B, what is on your sweatshirt?
Always on vacation from American Roots.
Oh yeah, so American Roots Homestead made her that sweatshirt, and it says "Always on Vacation."
I can't stand up.
Yep.
Always on vacation.
Yep.
She's got a plant and a shovel. She's digging. She's got some chickens.
Just what you needed, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like home.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, if we start getting glitchy, let us know, okay? Because I don't know that I'll know on my end. So if something's weird, let us know. The pixelation makes it easier for me to look at you, Tag. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ghetto. I'm gonna take that as a compliment, no matter what you meant. Yeah, Big Kid says we're stuck with you. I like you here, bud. All went well. Thanks again for help. Oh, of course. Ghetto Mr. Tag, Miss B. Good evening, Grumpy Acres. Hey, good evening, Grumpy Acres. How are you? Hey, if everybody didn't see it, I did a live yesterday with Grumpy Acres to talk about leadership and men versus male. And it was an interesting conversation. I really enjoyed it. So I don't know if that's Garen or Angela on here tonight. But it was good, either way. Ghetto says, love you, brother. Yeah, the pixelation is interesting. So we must not be doing very good. On my end, it looks good. But hey, Miley, how's it going?
But if it's pixelated on their end, then it's probably not.
Yeah, getting through. Well. Yeah. So I'm doing the best that I can do. I was kind of talking earlier with the first live that I did saying, hey, if we can't make this go good, maybe we'll do it again on Sunday. I've been asked before if by people that, hey, let's get something going on Sunday. So, it's okay. If he's messing with me, Jules, it is perfectly okay. I deserve every bit of it. So
yes, he does.
It's perfectly fine. I kind of expect some of that.
And some.
Yeah, and some. Heidi from Rain Country made the comment earlier talking that it's I deserve every bit of it. So y'all look better on the big TV than my laptop. Oh yeah, heck yeah. Tringo says toxic explosion in plastics plant in Kissimmee, Florida today. Ooh.
A plastics plant. There goes the more plastics.
Hey, there's Heidi right there. We were talking about you. And if those males wear buns and skinny jeans, they are not men. Yeah. For sure, Heidi. Hey, I got to call your old man here pretty quick. I'm waiting on just a couple details, but I think I got something really good for you guys that'll help you guys out a whole bunch. But I want to make sure I understand it before I get people excited. Anyway, so you want to talk about the explosion and the stuff you were checking out earlier today? Explain 'em.
I'm not sure. It was hard to figure out what all was affected, but the blue buffalo plants down there, the dog food company.
Yep.
So that may be an issue for some people. I found it interesting that nowhere on what I had originally seen said that the train was on fire
Mhm.
before it wrecked,
Mhm.
before it derailed
Mhm.
for like 20 miles or
Mhm.
something, like through towns. It was on fire, like a flaming train coming through town. And then it derailed, which is interesting. There was also a lot more toxins on there than what had originally was stated.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they'll ever really get to the bottom of it, because it seems like the left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing on that, which is kind of scary, because if they don't have to claim what was on there in the first place, then how would they have even known?
Yeah.
So,
hey, we miss Vanessa Homestead. How are you? I think we said hello to Rain Country, but if not, hello Rain Country again. And American Roots is here. Hey, American Roots. We were just talking about you in the sweatshirt right here. Yep. Sweet Braids B. Town called New Palestine. Weird to me.
Yeah. Palestine.
Oh, that's interesting.
Palestine.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you guys something. As a very, very proud husband to come home and see B researching what food plants and animal plants and things were around that Ohio, toxic explosion, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
That was really, really,
airborne toxic event.
There you go. The airborne toxic event. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Anybody see the Netflix movie White Noise?
What's that about?
Apparently it was about a train derailment from some chemicals catching on fire and hurting a bunch of people.
Have you watched that yet?
No, we don't have Netflix.
Oh, we can find it on YouTube.
I don't know. It said it was a Netflix original.
Yeah.
So we don't pay for TV like that. So but there was a lot of smaller meat packaging plants that were affected. Several farms that were producing beef for an area. So not like, a plant like, Tyson size, but still affecting several homes, butcher shops and lockers. And so.
Jen, what's up? How are you? American Roots. Jochi, good evening to you. Tori Henry's here. Hey, Tori. What's up, buddy?
Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, he is feeling better. I talked to him a little bit along the way.
Oh, good.
Ghetto says White Noise was completely boring, but the background storyline was very identical. But this is coming from the guy in skinny jeans and a man bun.
Ghetto's got a man bun?
I don't know, but
I don't think so.
Well, if you look up here, okay, Rain Country said that his skinny jeans and a man bun are a man, and Ghetto says, "What are you calling me out for?" So I'm just using his information. I don't know the difference. Except that our own government started the Ohio fire, says Jules.
I don't know, because the train was on fire before it derailed. So I'm not. That's what I'm saying. The stories it's different from who you hear it from.
Yeah.
Just like that Sandy Hook story.
Let me see here. Skanes Girl said she did some research on what flows into the Quachita River, since they have my whole state circled for future issues.
Oh.
Big Kid says Pinball said today a lot of potting soil comes from around the train accident from where it happened in Ohio. That's interesting.
And there's talking about a lot of that was going into the soil.
Yeah.
So, and they were saying that it wasn't affecting the air quality, but the people around there were in distress. So for breathing.
Tringo, hello, says White Noise movie has the explosion in East Palestine, Ohio.
It has it in. Okay, so that makes sense, because they said that some of the cast or some of the extras in the movie are reliving and
Really?
so that makes sense now. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had said that they were reliving the events, and I was like, well, that's kind of weird. But if they were extras in the movie, and now it happened in real life, then they're reliving it.
Okay. Skanes Girl says Washita. Thank you. Heard the cloud is headed to New York. C. Robert says.
So it's now headed north.
Well, no, it would be headed east from Ohio. New York would be probably east, maybe a little bit northeast. But you know how the jet stream travels, right? That would make some sense. Yeah, man, what a mess that is, huh? And, Skanes Girl and Hilltop Home Place and some of them, they're kind of right down there at the ground zero or close to. We pray for you guys. Predictive programming, says Heidi. Yeah. Crazy. The ta should have been, let me see. The ta should have been ta. Let me see. What did I say?
So ta.
Okay. Washita.
Washita.
Did you guys do this just to make fun of me? Anyway. Looks like you said washi ta, and then you said ta should be ta. What was it, ta or ta? Yeah, I think this chemical thing's crazy. And the one back up, I missed it. She had said it, but back up here, if I can find it here real quick. American Root says that the one in Arizona is 68 miles away from the town Joe's family grew up in. Because there was another explosion derailment
I didn't know
Arizona.
Just now?
I think it was yesterday. American Roots, when was that? Was it yesterday or the day before? It was here pretty quick.
With plastics on it? With burning plastics? You don't have a writing utensil?
Here. This game says you have it right, Tag. So make a chemical disaster, then manipulate the weather to send it where you want. Do that look again. That was classic. He's talking about the one in Ohio, but I thought there wasn't one in Arizona too. Was there not? The ta, of course, haha. Yeah. Yeah. Where is the chef? I don't know where the chef is because I have not had absolutely any baked goods in at least a few days. Do you know where the chef is?
Nope.
You don't know where they went?
Nope.
But I did have homemade meatball sandwiches tonight.
Yeah.
And they were really good. Pinbolt said yesterday that this disaster could affect communities up to 1,000 miles away. Man. Dolores says Michigan train derailment was today. Arizona was several days ago. Yeah. So we went to Michigan today and Arizona several days ago.
Wow.
Yeah. American Root says yes, in Arizona, 200 miles away. Remember, the residents who participated in the movie had to sign NDAs. Do you think that is another false flag?
What's NDA?
Non-disclosure agreement. We sign them in business all the time.
They had to sign it to.
I don't know what they'd be non-disclosing. I was in this movie.
Or
NSF, so I'm assuming that's Northern Santa Fe Railroad. CEO cashed out of the majority of his stock 2 months ago at $5.2 million. Of course he did. Yeah, of course he did. This is an interesting topic right here, Tringo. I've got a video coming out Sunday morning on the Great Reset. And I've already posted it to my Ungovernable channel. But the Great Reset, what's interesting about it is there's a lot of things that, are super fascinating about it. But, for us to give up all of our property, which is a big point of the reset, the Great Reset is communal ownership, where everybody owns everything or nobody owns anything. And that's really what it is, babe. And that's what they call it, Anyway, what that really means is if everybody owns everything, then nobody owns anything, right? And what that means is then who controls it, who gets to make the rules? Well, your local representative, right? Whoever you vote in to do that. And so really what we're doing is we're transferring our rights of our personal property rights just to the government by saying everybody owns everything. Right? I mean, that's how that works. I mean, I can't see a way that it doesn't work like that.
No.
Yeah. And so what's interesting about that, made me think about that, is Tringo said that the CEO cashed out the majority of his stock 2 months ago at $5.2 million. Well, that's what it does. It pushes all that power, right up into the top. And then the class divide between us and them just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, they've been saying this for a long time.
Yeah. You know how the World Economic Forum said, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Remember when they said that? Yep. Okay. And so I try to equate it all the way back to like the serfs.
The serfs?
The serfs. Remember how they worked for like the king, and the king owned everything. They owned nothing. They probably weren't very happy. Starlet says train derailment today in Detroit. Mission, Texas explosion last night. Yep. There were 2 others also, Texas and South Carolina. Man, I saw a map of the chemical spread in the air and it went all the way over to New York. Yep. How convenient is a silver lining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tringo in an unrelated incident, of course, rolls eyes. Yeah. Right. Hey, Rickster. In the rain, yeah. But socialism will work for us. Those who really do not study history will say. Yeah, of course they will say that. And it's so crazy that we think that the majority of the people, or a big chunk of people, think that giving the government more power will solve our problems. And this is what got us into the mess we're in. Yeah, let's just give them more, Yeah, Ghetto says, I guess the droughts weren't working fast enough for them. Oh. Yeah. Oh, you're skipping tag. Oh, I hope not for much. I hope we get to keep doing this, but kind of curious if all these companies have accidents the last couple of years are owned by Americans. Yeah, interesting. This would be a really good research project to go into these derailments. What were the company's products that were on them, et cetera, and then try to do a track back to, who owns them. And like, for example, one of the board members for Tractor Supply is also with Vanguard. Vanguard is, a big financial company that's been pushing the ESG system. And so it would be interesting if you could track that all the way back. I saw Black Hawk crashed. How did it happen? I didn't see how it happened, Milk and Honey. I heard that everybody aboard it died, but I have not done anything more than that. I have Zoom on my laptop and you guys on my cell. Yeah.
Oh, because Zoom's going on right now.
Yeah, because the Zoom's going on right now, which, guys, I'm sorry we're doing it on Thursday, but I have engagement I have to be at tomorrow. And then next week, I was going to ask you guys your opinion on this, by the way. So next week, when it comes Friday, I will be in Georgia. And I'll be down there speaking at the Next Step convention on the Parallel Society. So what I was thinking is I'll be back Friday night. We could do it Saturday or we could do it Sunday. And I'd love to know what you guys would prefer. And next week, that's the day we'll do it. And then we'll get back to the Friday rotation. Let me see. Where is the Ungovernable channel? So it's on YouTube, Starlight. I started another channel called Ungovernable so that I could move some of this more, stuff that's going to get me in trouble more over there so that it wouldn't get me kicked off here quite as easy. And it's just simply called Ungovernable. Dolores says all owned by BlackRock and Vanguard. Yeah, see, that to me, that's super interesting. And Dolores, I'll take your word for it because I've not done any research on this. But, companies like BlackRock and Vanguard and, a lot of those, they're really, they really control a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jules says it's different this time. Yeah. American exceptionalism. Still, Raj, the largest stockholders of Northern Southern Corp are Vanguard, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those large shareholders can absolutely push a button, right? Jules, thank you for the link. A guy at Husband's Work argued I was lying about the train, later apologized after deep research and found other things and is awake now. Hey,
there you go.
Yeah. How cool is that? Yeah. TJ in Georgia. So it's at the Rainier Islands Resort, an hour north of Atlanta, Georgia. I speak on Wednesday. I speak on Wednesday. On the opting out of the technocratic state is the topic. And there's 4 of us who are going to speak on it that day, but that's where it's at.
Do you know when on Wednesday?
I think it's like 3:00. Yeah, Jules, thank you. They own most corporations across the world, Dolores says. Yes, unfortunately, they do. Yeah, unfortunately. What's on your list? What should we talk about?
On the Georgia event, if anybody wants to go and they use your code, they can have a discount.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, the discount code for that is just freesteading.
Oh.
So it's easy. Just type in freesteading.
Yeah.
And I don't care either way. It don't do anything for me personally, but you're welcome to it.
We got a book in there.
Yeah, good.
I don't know where you got this. There was no words.
I don't know if the person wants me to tell everybody where I got it from.
We got a Messiah book in the mail.
Mhm.
Came from Amazon.
Yep.
It'll be nice to read. Look, there's a 8-week reading plan, so you
Mhm.
can read the whole book in 8 weeks.
Yeah. So this is a Bible that was written differently than the Bible is.
Yeah.
And this person, encouraged me to go read it. And you guys know I've been very open about my faith, and I struggle with my faith. And B's pretty good at it, but I am not very good at it. And
the Bible reading experience.
Yeah. So I committed that I'll read it. And to the person that sent it to me, thank you so very much.
Yeah.
That was really, really nice.
Yeah, it came in the mail and I opened it up because it had your name on it. And I was like, what is this? I don't know where this came from.
Yeah.
We got some videos in the mail, rocket mass heaters.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody has ever seen that, knows where it came from.
Mm-hmm. That comes from Paul Wheaton and Permies. All these do.
Rocket stoves.
Mm-hmm.
What was this one?
That one is World Domination Gardening.
The plastic's on it. It's probably hard to see it. We just got this. Oh, he's on.
Yep.
And then building a better world in your backyard. And Skip, which is skills to inherit property. And this one is, I was actually reading this one. It's actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's there's a look at this at the bottom. There's a flip picture on one side.
I didn't know that.
And then on this side there's a flip picture too. See? Oh, I'm doing it backwards. The tree's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But anyway, so we got those from Paul Wheaton along with his master gardening program, which I'm only on video 2. I watched video 1. I listened to video 1 and then I actually listened to it twice. It's hard for me to sit down and on video 1, you're not supposed to take notes. You're just supposed to listen. But I think you're not supposed to listen and haul wood at the same time because you're like, I'm doing what I need to do. And then I'm like, wait, what did she just say? And I have to walk back to the computer and look and see, or to the laptop and look and see that's what, she talks about not tilling. Tags, let's till the garden. Let's mix it all together. And then we'll spread it all apart. And I'm like, no. Yeah. Let's not till it together. And she's like, don't till it.
Yeah, I think
she talks about mowing, live mulch and mowing. And my dad gardening, he had a row of food and a row of grass and a row of food and a row of grass. And he would mow in between the food rows and he would blow the grass or weeds at the plants. And then he would go and he would move it around where he wanted it. And that's what she's saying that you're supposed to do.
They're saying we're super blurry. And I can't fix it, guys. Like I said, the internet's out. I'm on my cell phone. If it keeps up, though, guys, we'll just get off of this and we'll do another one. But
another day.
Yeah.
There's ice on all the.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I tried the whole time to see if I could get it, but hopefully it will, it'll pick up or whatever it is. I just can't help it. And again, I apologize, guys. I just have no control over it.
Yeah. I called the internet company and they said that the technicians are working on it. And how did she word it? They were trying to remove
the ice.
She said obstructions.
Yeah, but it was the ice. I am of me. Hello, good evening to you.
I was going to look on my phone and see if it still says without internet.
Yeah, we're going to do the best that we can through this. But guys, if you get to where you're having a hard time hearing us, just let us know and I'll deal with it, the best that I can. And maybe, like I said, we'll just have to schedule,
come back on Sunday
and do it again or whatever it is. Cause I can't do it tomorrow. So, I just don't know what else to do about it, But back to Paul Wheaton, and I think Big Kid said it up here that he said Paul Wheaton is okay, but personally I like having indoor plumbing and such while living off grid. I can't see going without the comforts. Yeah, and guys, I could not agree with you more. I mean, I think that there's a whole lot of different ways to get off grid, right? You don't have to live in a dog house with one solar panel to make it work. I mean, you can do it a lot of different ways. We choose to live modern, off-grid. When I go to the Self-Reliance Festival at the end of March, I'm speaking down there about modern off-grid living, and I'm going to take the whole modern approach, and not the, less is more approach, even though less is more and it costs a whole lot less, right?
Sometimes, I mean, pooping in a bucket, you still have to haul it somewhere,
Right.
which take, it's
Right.
free, but it's
Right.
takes your time. So,
Rainy, hello. LJC is here. Hello.
hi.
Hey, for you people joining us, I know that the picture's blurry out there. I have no internet, and so I am hotspotting this from my cell phone because we have no. I just don't have any internet.
Ice on our.
Yeah, and there's nothing I can do about it. They're working on it, and I was up here 2 hours before the live, trying to scramble to figure out how in the world we were going to go live tonight. Let me see here. Sunday week would be a great live stream when you get back. That's what I was thinking too, that we'd do it Sunday, and then I could fill everybody in on what the Georgia convention was like, and if, what I learned, and all of that kind of stuff. Perfect sound. Okay. Sometimes it's good to go with the less is more just for experience. Could not agree more. I think more importantly, C. Roberts, that what's good to do is to live life according to your terms, whatever that is. And if the minimalist approach is what you want to go as a homestead or as an off-gridder, I support it 100%. There's some things we do here kind of towards a minimalist, but I have a big house, and I have a big house because I believe my kids are coming home. I believe there's going to come a day one time where we're all going to have to shack up together. So I built all of them their own kind of master suite, right? That for them, their wife, and their 1.3 kids. So which way's right? Couldn't tell you.
I think it's what's right for each individual.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Big Kid says modern, but no smart appliances. Yeah. I'm not a big believer in connectivity.
Yeah.
We have no smart anything. I don't connect my, air conditioners to the system, even though I could. My solar system's never been on the internet, even though it's could.
Yeah. The refrigerator.
But I think using technology, you don't have to work as hard, in a lot of ways. And so that's just the way we've chosen to do it. Nothing wrong with wanting to be comfortable while we survive. I totally agree. No problem hearing you. Appreciate you figuring out how to come on anyway. Dolores, you would have laughed at me. I was scrambling, trying to figure out how to make this whole thing work. I don't get the greatest cell phone reception where I live anyway. It's okay. And oh my goodness, it was just horrible. RN, good evening to you. Grateful Hearts, good evening to you. Says the internet is frozen. Yeah. My internet has gone out at least 10 times today, says Storm Rider. Yeah, ours too. Mm-hmm. B's been fighting it all day. Good place to get lights for seed starting. I wonder what they're talking about.
They're asking. That's a question.
Oh, mark. Where is a good place to get lights for seed starting? There's a lot of places out there that sell them. We try. Here's the minimalist thing, right?
Yeah.
We try not to use those inputs, not because I'm afraid of those inputs, but because I want to learn to do it without those inputs, right? Like, how do you do it? Just like, one of the things we're really going to try this year is, once we get the seeds in the ground and, harvest and plant again and harvest and plant again. And what's the best intervals to do that? So you're harvesting kind of, all through the year. But we don't do the grow lights. So can anybody in here tell them where's a good place to get grow lights for seed starting?
The last time I had grow lights, we got them from just Home Depot, mm-hmm. and they were the big long ones. Mm-hmm. And something happened and it was hanging up so I had a rack and it was hanging there, and I touched it or tipped it or something, and it fell and it mm-hmm. shattered the bulbs, all 4 bulbs that were in there in the kitchen. So those big long tubes shattered in the kitchen, which then there was like white powder everywhere.
Yeah, C. Robert says exactly. Use technology while you can to get things accomplished. Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. I've got a neighbor of mine who kind of gets on me a little bit because I use a log splitter, and some of those kind of things. And I'm like, but I'm getting older, and every amount of energy I spend swinging the axe is energy that I can't use, for something else.
Well, and I can do it myself with the log splitter.
Rainy, good evening. Country girl here. Do what you got to do. Yep. Amen. How many of us are 100% recyclable without need garbage disposal services? 100%, that's a hard one to get to. We do okay at it, but I still got to make runs to the dump. And I don't have a service, but I load the trailer up and go to the dump. Uh-oh, Big Kid says, Tag, I got a bone to pick. All right, what you got, big dog? Mine keeps going in and out. Yeah, my internet's been horrible all day. My internet has been sketchy for almost a year, says Jules.
Mm-hmm.
But my heat has been out for a week. Oh, no. Thank Lord, a blessing with sufficient preps. Yep, amen. Hey, Philippine Nomad, good evening to you. Let me see here. Barina Grow Lights is what Spirco suggests. Very affordable, durable LED light in pink or daylight. Either works just fine. I've always been garbage free. Never in 30 years have I taken anything except recycled to my local landfill. Yeah. Yeah. Good for you. But Terminator, you're a whole different level of person.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out how to totally do that yet because of plastics and some of those things. So we try to separate what we can, right?
Yeah. Compost and burn, but
yeah, compost, burn what we can, cardboard or compost it or whatever, but we still have the plastics that we have to deal with. And I don't want to burn them. So,
yeah.
All right, here goes Big Kid. People need to stop thinking surviving and sustainability and thinking succeeding and thriving. Yeah, but here's the thing, Big Kid, is that, and this is a lesson that I've had to learn along the way, is that everybody's at a different place in their journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's, if you incrementally look at the process, I think step one should be, can I survive for a little while? And then pretty soon that grows into, can that be sustainable? And then that grows into, how do I succeed at this or even thrive at this? And I think it's part of a journey, and we should celebrate that entire journey because, again, everyone's kind of at a different place. I am of me says, I use cheap ones from Harbor Freight. I got beautiful plant babies. Yeah. Rainey says, I hope your chickens come home too. That's so sweet. The furnace motor finally died after trying to tell someone for a month that it was going out. Yeah. Prep for the Eternity Homestead said, back 5 years ago when we were just getting started and didn't have a clue, we bought grow lights from Walmart, worked and still using them. Yep. Rainey says, I started my seeds in 2 weeks. I am starting my seeds in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. B is just getting starting now with some of that stuff. But it'll be a little while before we start like tomatoes and, any of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking today about why the hemp plastics have not taken off. Because it's renewable and easy to produce. And then the petroleum industry, right? I mean, because it's taking profits out of the, the petrodollar would be my guess. They don't want anything that, can kind of take away from that. Hey, Johnny, how are you? Johnny says, if you can't survive, you cannot succeed or thrive. See, I think I agree with that. And I think it's a process. And again, I think it's about celebrating that process. I tell people all the time who come and see us here, and I get this a lot, and they say, man, you're so much further ahead, than we are or whatever. I'm always like, stop. You're not chasing me. You're chasing yourself. Can you be a little bit better tomorrow than you were today? Can you be a little bit freer tomorrow than you were today? I've been at this a long, 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 long time. So you might as well, celebrate your journey. Because guys, the truth is it is the journey, right? If it's a destination, I don't know that you'll ever catch it.
No.
But if we celebrate the journey, just like, it's interesting. Bee's got a video coming out on loofah. So she grew a bunch of loofah, and she did a video on harvesting the seeds and, again, some of the stuff that she can use, with those seeds and then also the loofah, being able to wash dishes and that kind of stuff. And I smiled to myself because she had a piece of loofah cut up and she was scrubbing dishes with it. And I thought to myself, I don't have to buy sponges. I don't have to buy rags. Yeah. She's growing them right there. And so is that a big deal? Nah, probably not, but it's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit freer. It's one more thing I don't have to be dependent on the system for. Right. And how cool is that?
Yeah.
I really like that. Let me see here. Where did I actually leave off at? Let me see. Adequacy is a big reach upward sometimes, like on Tag's Freedom Index. Some of the chains are still on. Some of the locks have yet to be picked.
Wow.
Well said. And, I get a lot of comments on this pack rat about, well, you got to pay your taxes. So what's the point of even trying? Well, the point of trying is you're fighting this battle on 1,000 fronts. And if you can whittle those fronts down to 2 or 3, I promise you're going to get by a whole lot better. I promise you. Eternity said we put up our greenhouse this winter, so hopefully we won't need grow lights anymore. Amen. Yep. Rainey says, good evening. I bought grow lights on Amazon, says Skane's girl. Hope you stay warm. Wood stove. Yep. We've got, I think you're probably talking to Jules, Rainey. But here we have 4 in our house. Is that right?
What?
Fireplaces or wood stoves? I think we have 4.
Yeah.
Right? Is that right? Yeah. You have a point. Then again, people need to realize they can improve, not just survive and exist. Yeah, because I think that's exactly correct. I think that you should never settle and say, okay, I'm good enough, because there's always something else we can do. But I think if you focus on the I have to thrive, then you get, paralyzed by analyzing it all versus just saying, how do I get a tiny bit freer tomorrow? And how do I get a tiny bit freer? And then you wake up one day. I mean, it's just like the whole storing food thing. If you go spend $5 a week, you'll be surprised at what that looks like at the end of the year. Right? At how much that we've, amassed, through that period of time. I am a me wants to know if anybody's here from Florida. I was wondering about the Kissimmee fire. Yeah, I have not heard anything about it. I am of me. Eat closest to the land and reduce supermarket runs, and you should get 80%. Yep. Yep. Storm Rider wants to know if it's hard to grow loofah.
No.
No, it's very easy.
Just like squash.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we don't eat loofah.
You can.
Yeah. Richard says, hey, good night. Good evening, by the way. Surviving, succeeding, and thriving all work together. Yeah, I think it's a journey, Let me see here. Funny, there's a rain country, a storm. There's a rain country, a stormy, and a rainy. You in the chat? Data, what's up, bud? Good evening, guys and gals. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, my good buddy Data. Him and I talked on the phone for a good hour today, didn't we, bud? Let me see here. Matt, good evening, says I have 12 devious. Oh my goodness, blows by. Devious vegetables. Yes, 12 devious vegetables, 3 inches tall in my grow tent. Cool. Rainy Redmond, which equals a heck of a lot of mud and rust. Yeah. Because they have a rain country, rainy. Yeah. Right. Both, but I wondered if you had a wood stove. Okay. Yeah. What's a devious vegetable? Johnny says. Last warning. Hey, what's up? Let me see here. Big Kid will be right back. I do a lot of floor cleaning this time of year. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that the floor cleaning get worse here in just a little bit.
In Muddy March.
Yeah. B calls it Muddy March because you got dogs and you got, all the other things that go on.
Boots.
Another thing people need to learn to survive and thrive is when you get overwhelmed, find a quiet space and just be still and quiet. See, Roberts, I love this. This is a great statement. I know you guys, a lot of you guys don't know me personally, but I'm very rarely in a bad mood. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
I'm a pretty motivated, pretty upbeat guy. But when I get in that time where something's bothering me or I'm overwhelming or whatever, I just take a walk. I go and be by myself for a little while, or I'll go lock myself in my wood shop for a little while. And B knows me well enough to know to just leave me alone. Just let me have that hour or 2 hours. Don't come chasing me. Don't come asking me if I'm okay. And then I'll snap out of it, right?
Yeah, usually.
And, everything's okay. That's a great comment. Rain says, I tried growing loofah a couple of times. It seems to not like our climate, but we can grow a lot of spaghetti squash and zucchini. See, I would think if they could grow zucchini, they could grow loofah just fine.
Yeah, I would. I wonder why.
I wonder, you want to send her some of your seeds?
On a arch, and then they just grow over the plant and then hang down through the plant, and then you really just leave them until the plant dies. Yeah. Until your winter comes, and then you pluck them all.
Yeah, rain country. We take cattle panels. And I bend them in a big arch and then stake them to the ground. And then she just grows like the cucumbers and the loofahs and all of that stuff up those arches because it makes harvesting them so much easier.
And they just hang there.
Yeah. Now, let me see. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? My husband isn't home as much as I am, so I talk on the phone to my mom a lot. She is the greatest supporter. That's another thing, surround yourself with people who make you better, right? And get that support structure in place because that is certainly helpful. Because, guys, it don't always go easy, right? I know a lot, most of the people in here homestead, one way or another, and it's a hard life. It's not this, let's go live free means it's easy and caregiving and all that. No, that's not what it means at all. I mean, right?
Yeah.
You have your moments,
Yes.
you know, some days aren't so good and some,
Yes.
how do you deal with it?
You just keep going.
Yeah, but how do you let it out?
You just it doesn't help. You know, you could scream, that doesn't help. You
Mhm.
can punch things, that doesn't help. You
Mhm.
can, you know,
Have-
bake, that doesn't
Mhm.
really help. You just take a deep breath and keep going, because there's really, that is a lot of times too, you got to just check yourself. You got to change your attitude, because if you're all, you know, damn it, you know, then look for and dwell on the downs.
Mhm.
So sometimes just finding the good and focusing on that,
Mhm.
and then look for the next good and focus on that, and you know, to get yourself over that.
Mhm.
I think so. A lot of times you just gotta just change your attitude, because you know, we had the whole, you know, PayPal thing, some the fraudulent activity, the bank thing, the cell phone thing, now the internet thing. You know, I found a mouse in the pantry. I removed a bag of
Crackers.
yeah, they were oyster crackers. Looked fine. Moved the bag of oyster crackers, and the bottom or the back side of it that was pressed up against the wall was like chewed away. And I'm like, oh, no, because you know, now you have to wash everything because you don't know where the little been. So I set like 16 mouse traps, and I'm like, I'll get you know. So then, and then the dog's eyes are like gunky, like he has owies on the folds of his nose, you know. And I'm like, ah, you know, clean that 3 times a day, and then the mud, and then the solar panels are frozen. So, you know, it's just always something. So, I went to the loofahs to harvest the loofah seeds, because somebody wanted some, and found out that half of them dried appropriately, the other half did not. So I've got only half of my harvest because the other ones molded before they dried. So compost pile those go.
Yeah, but think about, you still got, I mean, 10,000 seeds out of the ones you harvested. I mean, you still have
I have plenty of seeds, but I was gonna have a year's worth of sponges. You know, I grow them not for the seeds. I mean, the seeds I like and I share, but I grew them for the sponges.
So what are you going to do? What are you going to do with your loofahs now? I know some are sponges. Yeah, what are you going to do with, because you have something you do with them that's really cool that I thought these people would like.
I use them for cleaning.
No, you put them in something.
Oh, the soaps?
Yeah, tell them how that works.
So I have in the past taken the loofah and cutting them into like fat circles, and then taking those and putting them, when I make my soap, I put one circle in the mold, in each mold, and then I pour the soap around it, so that there's the loofah is inside the mold. So as you're washing, you're exfoliating also.
Yeah, which is pretty cool,
you like
right?
That one? You like when I do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Carrie Davis says, I saw Kevin Costner in Aspen on a Harley. Very disappointed. He was so small. I just thought that was funny. Yeah. Milk and Honey said they listen to loud music. Rain Country says, some people wrongly think that escaping the rat race means you do not work. Silly people.
Oh, man.
You work hard.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, you work hard. It's not, it ain't even a little bit. It's a lot, but it's free.
Yep.
Yep. A lot of praying for sure. Homesteading can be tough for sure. Yep. Now I'm buffering a bit too, all the way from across the big pond. Yeah, Philippine says. Oh man, I just blew by. Daboot 77 YouTube channel put out a video on the Florida plant explosion. Yeah, I'd be interested.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah. Oh, Silver Lining says her book title is "Damn It, I'm Blessed."
Whose is?
Silver Lining.
Her book is?
Yeah, her book is "Damn It, I'm Blessed."
I love
I love that. Actually, you know, that'd be a good shirt.
Yeah.
That really would be a good shirt. Does anyone anyone have plans for what they are going to do after a major event?
Depends on what the event is, I think.
Well, I think you have plans for no matter what the event
Well,
is.
it just depends. It depends on what it is.
Yeah.
If there's a tornado, we're not here. We're not here.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Kid, I think this is such an interesting thing. We talk about the journey, and we were talking earlier about surviving versus thriving. I think this is part of the journey too. I used to have, and you can ask me, I built a big, tough, mean bug out vehicle early in my life. Right. I mean, it had things that lifted up and tools and everything and camo nets and the whole thing. And I built it and it was great. But as time went on, what I learned was I'm way safer to stay put in 99.9% of the events, right, that are out there. And, we've grown through all of that to, be homesteading today. But I think, again, that's part of your journey too.
Yeah.
Right. Is to consider all of those things. Now, the good news is for us, we have connections everywhere, north, south, east, west, all of those kind of things. But it will take a lot to get me to leave here. B, if you, I'll get you my little dearies.
I'll get you my little dearie. Yeah.
That's funny. B, I should send you the pic of the mouse I pretty much had to adopt because he kept evading the traps. I called him Waldo. No way. B would have none of that.
We need a better trap.
I'm going to keep on keeping on as much as I can. Yep. Amen. How do you treat the puppy's nose and lips?
Right now I'm using chlorhexidine. It's not his lips, it's like where his nose is smushed in, and so he has a wrinkle on both sides of his face where his nose is like.
Well, it's actually out of his eyes, right? Because it starts in his eyelids and comes down the side of his face.
Yes.
He's a boxer. So he's got this wrinkle in here, and man, we just cannot
it's
keep
like
it.
crust. It's like, yeah.
It is so hard.
And then, of course, he digs in the compost pile, and then he's drinking out of the toilet when somebody leaves the lid open.
Yeah, you need to stop doing that.
Yeah, I sure do.
You do.
I absolutely do.
Yeah. Time to break out the discipline.
I had a bunch of eggshells that I took out and buried them in the compost pile, and then I was like, what is that in the yard? And I walked over there, and it was an eggshell, and they had both, I don't know which dog, both of them, they had dug up the eggshells. So there was a massive hole in the compost pile, and the eggshells had been exposed. So
yeah,
he digs with his face.
And it is so hard to keep it clean. It's a full-time job, but in fairness too, he's old. Right, he's not the young guy he used to be.
Yeah, he didn't used to do all that. I mean, this is just a recent thing.
When things don't go right, I always think it could be worse, and I think about how blessed I am.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm blessed.
Damn it.
Right, I've gotten booted off the internet twice since I've been here. The internet is bad today. It's bad for us too. I'm hoping we can do this today, but let me see here. I'm going to try to skip down here. Just there we go. I think I'm almost caught up. JB says to Big Kid, I moved necessary meds and cash closer to the back door so I could grab it quick if I had to evacuate without much notice. That's smart.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah. Let me see. I plan to be around to help rebuild. There's a lot of things I can share with people. Yeah, and I think that's a good attitude to have too. Blessings come in small doses sometimes. Yeah, super well said. I spent 15 years building this place, so my kids always have what they need no matter what happens. Yeah, Big Kid, I take a lot of heat for this issue. I've had a lot of people say that I'm, an idiot because I built such a big house and all of that. But, what's funny is we live in a third of my house. The other 2/3 of my house, we rarely even go into. But I wanted to plan for my kids because they're my kids,
Yeah.
Right? Antibiotics and ointments, Rainey says. Yeah, you use... What's it called again?
The chlorhexidine is a antiseptic wash for dogs and horses.
Yeah.
And then ointment I've been putting, I tried Andy at first and he did not like that because he doesn't mind when I'm wiping it. And then I am doing the, plantain.
Have you tried that? What's that? That pasty white stuff, like for chafing?
No, that burns.
Yeah, but it's really good for that kind of stuff.
I wouldn't put that on an open spot. I wouldn't put that on an open spot.
I would try it.
That would burn.
Skins Girl says, I even talked to my daughter today if they might be able to make it here by boat. She said gas would be an issue going that far. Yeah, I think fuel is a big thing. You know, when we build around here, and part of the reason we picked our land is how far were we a tank, how many people were within a tank of gas from us.
Yeah.
And you know, my kids, they're not super far from me, but I preach to them all the time about don't let your tank fall beneath a half a tank and blah blah, because they'll get here with that.
Yeah.
Tag, as of tomorrow, I'll get to wear my Freeman cap.
Oh, silver lining.
Yeah. So what does that mean? You'll get to wear your, oh, I know exactly what that means. Oh my goodness.
Means that they will be a free man.
Yeah, that's exactly what that means.
A free human.
Yeah, free human. Silver lining. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. I know how hard you've worked for this. You and I've had this conversation a couple times, and big congratulations. And hey, everybody in here, let's give Silver Lining a congratulations for reaching free man. She did something big that takes her from the system, and she don't have to be a slave to it anymore. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. This girl's worked her tail off. I know her and I've had a bunch of conversations, and she sacrificed and sacrificed and sacrificed to get there. And big congratulations to you, Silver Lining. He is exploring in the later years. Yes, Rainey, he is absolutely doing that. C. Robert says, you know what you mean. I paid off my son's house so I can make sure he had a place to be, because he doesn't really think too much of the way things are going. Yeah. And C. Roberts, isn't that our job as parents?
Mm.
Even if they're not all the way there, because again, everybody's at a different place in their journey. If we ridicule them where they are, they're going to run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to celebrate where everybody is. And I get people who call me or email me all the time and say, man, I'm depressed. I'm living in an apartment, and, you know, I don't have very much space, and I can't grow my food, but I've got 2 tomato plants on the front, and I've got some food. So I'm like, congratulations, you're awake.
Yeah.
Look how much further you are than so many other people. So let's be encouraging to all those people. But C. Roberts, I salute you. One step closer. Good evening, bud. Yeah, we have 2 empty rooms, but I have 3 adult kids and grandbabies.
Yeah.
At least you got space for them, right? Yep. Zinc oxide should not burn. Keep moisture off the skin.
Oh, yeah.
Have you tried that?
No, I don't have just zinc oxide. Well, actually, I might, because I put that in my sunscreen. But zinc oxide is white. You were talking about calmoseptine, which is like it's a barrier for skin, but it has like some minty kind of something in it, which I think would burn. But zinc oxide is just one ingredient that might actually help. It'd have white streaks down his face.
Who cares if it makes him feel? See, I would just think that white stuff would dry it up, which is what it does to chafing,
is it
right?
Wet?
No, it kind of dries everything up. And
no, I mean his
super wet, and it would just dry it up. You know, your problem is it gets just like chafing. You know, it gets wet, and then it's rubbing and it's rubbing and it's rubbing and it's rubbing, and it just irritates and irritates and irritates.
I have some stuff from the vet, but it has non-oxynol 9 in it, which I was like, and when I go to put it on his face, which is supposed to be for wounds, he fights me. He doesn't want me to put it on him. He, you know, moves his head left and right. But when I'm using the chlorhexidine, he allows me to do it without fighting. Like he just holds his face there. If I hold my hand under his chin, he just rests his face there and allows me to wipe it. So to me, that tells me it doesn't burn him. It doesn't, he's not bothered by it.
Johnny says use Neosporin.
Oh no.
Hey, Bug Out Channel, what's going on, bud? Look at all those congratulations.
Yep. That's for Silver Lining.
Yeah. Look at all those congratulations. How cool is that? Yep. Silver Lining, you're blessed, you're loved. And again, big congratulations on your victory. I know how hard it is. You know, I absolutely know how hard it is. Richard Hakes says, the first day I wore my Freeman hat, I was asked about it. How awesome is that? Yeah, I get people who from time to time, I travel, they'll just walk right up to me and say, you know, I know that hat, or are you that guy, or whatever, which is pretty cool, you know. Let me see here. Where are we at? Okay. Jules says, I tried to make things happen for well over 2 years now. totally alone since someone prefers to reap the benefits without any of the work. If it's God plan, it will happen. Jules, I think again, everyone's at a different place in their journey, and it's not easy. I mean, me and B look just looking for land. I mean, we looked for 9 years.
Yeah.
Right. Before I could find the right place. And now with everything that's been going on, man, I can't tell you how happy I am we chose a place at the top of the runoff.
Yeah.
Right.
And there were times when, you're like, what about this one? What about? And it's like,
Yep.
We had, and, you didn't necessarily want to wait 9 years. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there were lots of discussions on just hold your ground where it's not right yet.
Let me see. Big Kid says, hey, Tag, if I were ever to have to go somewhere after an event, do you think a 69 deuce and a half will do it? If you can feed it, I think it will do it great. Right? The feeding it would be the hard part, I think.
Yeah.
B, have you tried YL Animal Sense?
No, I haven't. I do have a tub of that though.
Do you?
Yeah, the Young Living Animal Sense. That's what I use.
Oh, YL. Okay.
To make the like no swipes, that tub that
you gotta try
it. Refill.
Young Living makes some good stuff. B's been using Young Living for a long time.
I just got some so I had like $300 in my rewards account, and so I went ahead and spent it all and got some animal Paragize, so like parasite oils for animals from their animal line. So
Jules, I believe God is watching, and if you are doing what he leads you to do, then don't let it be an obstacle.
Yeah,
I think that's true, but I think a good point up here too. Hold on, I was at Jules and it blew by me, but I think this is a really good point. Oh, Big Kid says to Jules, time to try a different route.
Oh,
well, I think this is important. If you're doing the same thing over and over again,
and you're not getting
where
results,
you change some tactics, whatever that is, and
I gotta go feed the fire because the wood I put in there was not very heavy.
Yeah,
so
and
I think
it's snowing and
ice,
so
to burn fast.
Okay, hurry back.
I'll try, but I have to actually go outside to get the wood because I did not bring
you were very sexy carrying wood.
I did not bring. I know.
Multi-fuel engine, it can burn just about any flammable liquid. Yeah, again, I think it would work perfectly well, Big Kid. Again, just got to feed it, right? We did the same thing, hunting for property for years, and then suddenly we came, into the first one, then the second, and possibly a third if it all works out. Yeah. Hey, speaking of this, guys, Rain Country's trying to expand their footprint and get freer, and so any of you prayer warriors out there that want to send a prayer Rain Country's way, that they're able to do what they're hoping to do. Let's get them some prayers out because I think that's pretty cool. I'm going a different way, Tag. That's why I've hired an attorney. Yeah, I think sometimes you gotta do that. It's all about timing. Found the community and the land we were looking for, but it was not in the state. We even right by me. Where did it go here? That was an important one. Hold on, guys. That's what makes it hard. Oh, the message was retracted. Well, that's why I couldn't find it. Anyway, okay. Let me see here. Skanes, yeah, congratulations. Yeah, Stephanie, thank you for the congratulations. Hey, Blockchain, what's up, bud? How are you? Hey, you got those? You excited about getting that beehive going this year? I bet, 8 miles per gallon is a bit tough. It does farm jobs without issue. Yeah, I think it'd be a fine vehicle. I've got a Big Kid out in my shop. I got a new one that I've been working on over the last couple of years. I bought a 73 Chevy crew cab 1-ton pickup. Just an old square body, 73 crew cab. And man, it is this big old truck. And we put I don't want to get all gearheady on everybody here, but we put an LQ9 6-liter in it. So it's all fuel injected and all of those things. But it's been quite the project. We are looking for the community to help us narrow down our search. Yeah, I've done a lot on this One Step Closer, and sat down and I've done needs and threat analysis to figure out where I wanted to be. And, if you go through that process and you look at all of the threats that you consider, and then you look at all of your needs and you apply them in an overlap method on a map, you'll be amazed at how it just hones you in. Got to hit the hay. Sweet dreams, friends. Yeah, Rainy Redmond, good night to you. Prayers for Rain Country and Mr. Rain. Amen. Oh, did somebody say Mrs. Rainy? Miss Rainy Redmond? Have a great night. Yeah. Yeah, Big Kid says, love it. Yeah, I really like that truck. I hope to, I put a new engine in it, new transmission in it, new transfer case in it, new front axles. Those have all been rebuilt. I've only gotten it back as far as the gas tank. So the two gas tanks, I got two 20-gallon gas tanks, but now I've got to get the rear end and everything, kind of back behind that, but I'll get there at some point. Country for sure. Hello again. Laugh out loud. Yeah, no doubt, huh? Yep. Let me see here. There we go. Bird's Eye View Homestead said, found the community and the land in a state we had never even considered. We are blessed. Yeah, and that community, Bird's Eye View, is blessed as well. And it's amazing how that works. And how do you view community? When I did my ungovernable score calculator, I did that video about that. When in there on the first page, what it allows you to do is to rate each category. And I put the highest rating in community because I think it's just that important. And so 20 of the 10 categories, you assign it a score and then it has to total 100. And so I put 25 in community and then divided the other 75 between the other 9 categories because that's just how valuable that I think it is. Tag, I have a chance to move to New Mexico. What are your thoughts on the state for homesteading? So Tringo, I'm not a New Mexico expert, right? So I don't totally understand all of the, the climates and all of those things down there. And I know that there are people in this chat right now from New Mexico. They may be able to tell you, but my two biggest concerns would be, the first one would be water. If you don't have access to water, I would not go there. I would not do it. And then the second thing I would tell you is the how close it is to the Mexican border. LJC says, Tringo, I live here and can't wait to get out. We were locked down for the longest of any state during COVID. Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping you were going to pipe in. I knew you were here when Tringo asked that question. But I've never lived there, so I can't really testify to it, other than I think water would be just such a gigantic ordeal, down there. Also, I think culturally, what is the community like there in New Mexico? And I don't know, I've never lived there, but, we live in the Midwest, and we live in the Midwest because for a lot of reasons, but the people are nice. It took me a long time to get used to when you drive down the road, everybody waves at you. That was so weird for me when I first got here, because I moved here from Denver, Colorado. New Day Farm. Howdy, howdy. Anyway, I'll work on some of the stuff on my list. We talked about the Bible. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to read that. So I've been doing some work with actually another freesteader on here to figure out how to take the ungovernable score and make it, because it's very, very complicated. There's a lot of things to plug in. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. But how do I take all of that information and turn it into a way that makes it simple for people to understand and encourages them to go through the process? And we were thinking like something like a choose your own adventure book, or, Mad Libs, or, something along those lines. So if you guys have any ideas on how you would take an Excel calculator spreadsheet and put it into a format that would make it exciting for people to go through it, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Big Kid says, Tag, I know a bit about vehicle builds. Have done a few, but had forgotten how long it takes to do projects when you have to design and make each piece as you go. Yeah. Well, my problem isn't that. If I could, put a bunch of time on it, I would do it. But my problem is I have no time to work on it. I'm trying to, cut firewood or harvest this or do this. I just don't get in there that much. LJC says water is a huge issue. Education is 51st in the nation after Puerto Rico. Crime is skyrocketing and border is an issue. Yeah, I don't like any of those things, LJC. My grandpa always said, if you don't have good water, you don't have anything. Yeah, I really couldn't agree with you more. I mean, when we did our needs and threats analysis, the number one thing on my needs list was water. because with it, so much is possible. And then when we built our homestead, as you guys know from watching everything, I put a lot of resources into water. I've got a well, I've got a lot of rainwater storage, and I've got 3 ponds on my property that we can pull water out of, because I really think it's just simply that important. Californians are spoiling Colorado. Yeah, that's why I left Colorado, Cam Squatch. So I grew up over there, and eventually I wanted to, as I was a young father, I was a dad at 19 years old, and I wanted to get my kids out of there. And so we moved, and actually first moved to Nebraska, but it ended up down here in Kansas. Tringo, you're very welcome from my front. LJC is a great resource for that area. Well, for any area down there. And LJC, thank you for, piping in and talking to Tringo. I don't know, Tringo, are you on freesteading? Because if you are, you could probably find LJC over there and connect. And if you had any other questions, I'm sure they'd be happy to answer. We have water and mineral rights, including the creeks. Yeah, that's a big thing too, mineral rights, right? Okay, hold on. Oh, that reminds me, Tag. I found some cool rain catchment barrels on Scamazon. Yeah, I think I go to auctions. I see them all the time. I'm very reluctant, though, guys, to buy used tanks, only because I don't know what was in them. Now, I'm sure some would work out just fine, but it just scares me. So I told you guys we got the Great Reset video coming out on Sunday. It's over on the Ungovernable channel right now, if anybody wants to watch it, but it will come out pretty quick. I think Sunday morning on this one. And then Bethany's got the Lufa one coming out as well. We talked about next week's live. I think we could do it Sunday if you guys think that's okay. Because again, I won't be here Friday. I'll be down in Georgia. RN says, Tag, how hot is it in the summer where you are? So we got a couple weeks, just like the winters here. We have a very short, brutal winter and a very short, brutal summer, meaning the brutal part, right? So we get into July and early parts of August. It can get, in the 90s every day, and you'll have a few days that'll hit 100 or 102 or 103. And that runs for a couple weeks. And then same with the winter. And we had a day this winter that with the wind chill was minus 41. And so we get the big extremes, but usually they're pretty short-lived. Hey, babe.
Hey.
What's up?
Oh, just running.
Yeah. Yeah. Tringo says you are. Yeah. If you can find LJC over there, if you want to ask any more questions about New Mexico, I know that they would be happy to help you. You see, Miley says, got to go make a cup of hot chocolate. I got chocolate milk.
Hot chocolate sounds good, though.
Yeah, I'd rather have my chocolate milk, but yeah. Probably, and Joel says, and the RN probably not as hot as Texas. Yellow, that's my reason for trying to leave. Guys, I don't think I'd really want to be anywhere near the Mexican border. I mean, I'm not downplaying anybody who's there, who loves it there, who's doing their thing there. I mean, we're all different, and I don't know everything, but I don't really think I'd want to be very close to the Mexican border with everything that's going on and all that. I think, when we talked about a need and threats analysis, part of the threats analysis is the natural barriers, right? And so I would want to be a ways away from the Canadian border, a ways away from the Mexican border. I would want to be, to the east of the Rocky Mountains and to the west of the Mississippi River, or even better, the west of the Missouri River, right? And you start putting all these natural borders and these natural things in there, and I think it gets you to a pretty good spot.
I lived in Arizona, and we didn't have grass.
Yeah.
We had a rock. We had rocks and dirt for our yard.
Yeah.
And we lived in a cul-de-sac. It was a corner lot. It was a huge yard. We drove motorcycles around the backyard, but it was just nobody had grass in our neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah. LJC says, yep, I'm on freesteading. We'll be more than happy to answer questions. I'm in Las Cruces. Las Cruces. Okay. So farther south than you are probably looking, but the corruption and crimes are statewide. The Silver Lining says she likes my cup. I guess I never showed it to you guys. See? Free man. Look at that. Isn't that pretty cool?
I got that for him for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's my Valentine's Day present. And I'm very fond of it.
Military green?
Yeah, which I'm a big fan of that color.
Was it that or pink?
Yeah. Let me see here. Grateful Heart says Mexican food is better the closer you get to the border. Amen. Carlene says, if I want Mexican food in South Dakota, I got to make it myself. It's hard to get good Mexican food north of the Red River. Yeah, and if what you were doing was preparing to live in a place that offered you the best Mexican food, I'd say the closer to the border you get, the better. Why west of the Mississippi? Okay, so MJ in Wisconsin. So here's the thing. I believe that, like the Mississippi River, for example, is a great natural barrier to the Golden Horde. So you're talking about the populace fleeing the east and the west coast. I want to put natural barriers between me and them. And it's not foolproof, right? Because there's bridges to cross the Mississippi River, just like there is the Missouri River, just like there is all of those things. But I think the more of those barriers you put between the population centers, right? The vast majority of the population lives on the east and west coast. And so I want to line as much of them up as I can.
Yeah.
And I think that puts you in a good spot. One step closer is a good thing that I get my wife to make me homemade tortillas from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like homemade tortillas.
Yeah, I would like to make some tortillas. I would like for you to teach me how to make some tortillas.
Yeah. Everyone, I'm still here, and congrats to Silver Lining. Hey, Jim, how are you? Says, always away from the Canadian border. Please tell me why you think that. Sure, happy to. So here's the thing, is that it has nothing to do with Canada. It just has to do with away from borders. Right? I want to be away from the Mexican border just as I want to be away from the Canadian border. But I think the Canadian border is a whole nother thing, which is growing season. And I think the longer growing season you got, probably the better in a shit hits the fan situation. Now, if I had the choice to live on the Canadian border or the Mexican border, I'd rather live on the Canadian border. Not even close. Right?
Yeah.
But when we were talking about doing a threat and needs analysis, I really wanted to be away from both of them. And then the needs pushed me further south because of growing season. Right? But that's not a knock on the Canadians, Jim, at all. I would much rather live there than the Mexican border. What happens when we get a pole shift tag? Well, I don't think anybody really knows that, Jules. I mean, I can tell you I've done a fair amount of research into this, but I'll tell you, if you guys want to follow somebody or talk to somebody who's way up to speed on this, would be Getting Deep with Data, who's in here. He studies and studies and studies and studies this. And based upon my conversations with him, it looks like the center of the country where I am is going to shift up towards Idaho or, Canada, up that way. But I don't really think anybody knows, right? I mean, I've never lived through a pole shift, and I don't think anybody on this planet has ever lived through a pole shift. But I do say that there's increasing evidence that that's a reality. There seems to be more and more and more of that, going on all the time. Andrew Adams says, starting over 7A Farm in Wichita Falls, Texas, out by the base. Yeah, my sister and brother-in-law own a restaurant in Belton, Texas, which I don't think's very far from Wichita Falls, if I remember correct.
They're going to be up next week.
Oh, up this next week. That's right. Just come to my house. I will fix you a darn Mexican food you want, including homemade tortillas and tamales. Yeah, I love Mexican food.
Tortillas.
Yeah. See, good luck, Andrew Adams. They get some tough summers out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to eat at Starla's house. Yeah, me too. Carlene, you and me, we're headed over to Starla's. I've been following Suspicious Observer. I like to get Data's perspective too. Yeah, you should. Data's actually really, really smart on this. I mean, he is really, really smart, and actually someone who I trust in these kinds of things, because it's not really a topic I've studied a lot in my life, But, you want to talk about, past cultures and, just things that have happened in history and pole shifts and all of that. Data is a great. If you come to the camp out, Jules, pull Data aside and set him down in a chair and have a deep conversation about pole shifts. He's super educated. Starla says, I lived in Mexico for several years teaching English. I learned how to cook all of it. Yeah.
Wow.
Jim says, thanks for all you're doing. I'm on 20 acres and working on that Freedom Index. Yeah, good for you. We're really trying to figure out how to take that to a whole new level, because I think the calculator, there's some flaws in it that I just haven't been able to work through. Like, for example, we talk about, are you growing your own food? But what inputs do you need in order to grow that food? Are you buying seeds? Do you have to buy your chicken food? I mean, so we could really expand this more and more and more. But then the problem is the more you expand it, the more confusing it gets. And the more confusing it gets, the less people will use it. And if the less people use it, then I did not accomplish my goal, which is getting people to open their eyes. So it's just an absolute challenge. And Jim, I'm glad you're using it. Suspicious Observers has lots of info on pole shifts. Yeah, Jules, you going to? Yep. Yes, he does, Bobby. Oh yeah. Suspicious Observer is a great channel.
You've heard of it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've watched them. There's a handful of channels that I like to watch. Academy of Ideas, I watch all the time.
Academy of Ideas.
One of my favorites.
These are on YouTube.
Yeah. There's a few of them that I like. Really, really well. There's a economist. What's his name? My mind went blank. Anyway,
Ninja?
No. Yeah, whole other level beyond the ninja.
Oh, the bald guy? With
No,
blue eyes?
the guy in Colorado. Peter Zion, I think is his name. And I watch his channel a lot because he's just, to me, is just a brilliant guy. And he really gets me thinking outside of the box. So I really like that channel a lot too.
I've not heard of any of them.
Yeah, you should watch them. They're pretty fascinating. But geopolitics is not really your thing.
No, it is not.
So you might be better off taking the master planting course.
I'll just watch Heidi.
Yeah, we'll just watch Heidi. Okay. Which is good.
And butcher her recipes.
Well, you've made it several. We'll talk about that. So you made it again.
I talked about it last week.
But you hadn't made it again since last week.
Yeah, I did because I made the pectin and then I made the gelatin.
And the gelatin, this is going to sound crazy. I prefer the pectin.
So I made a metal to-go pan, one of each. And the pectin one actually went faster.
Yeah.
There was two small pieces left, and the other one had half of it. So I was shocked about that.
Yeah, I think this is interesting, Heidi. If you can hear this show, she made your recipe with pectin and then also with gelatin, right? And then she took both of them to a community event, a big potluck that we had down here. And the pectin recipe
went faster,
which I find interesting. And I actually preferred it as well because it wasn't quite as fluffy.
You called it flat, and now you say you liked it
I
better.
preferred the flat over the fluffy.
That is so weird.
Now that I got to eat them both, they were both delicious. Like there was nothing wrong with either one of them. But
I thought I used a little bit too much gelatin.
One was more like a marshmallow, like spongy, and one was more like a cheesecake.
Yeah.
And I preferred the cheesecake. Anyway, that's interesting. Aloha, howdy from Wyoming. Very interesting. I'm also solo caregiver of our last elder. I live vicariously through all of you. How cool is that? And how amazing is it that you have taken the responsibility to care for the elders? We need to do more for our elders in this country. I think that's just super cool. Congratulations. I'm proud of you for that. Starla, you make me hungry. Yeah, Rain Country says that's interesting. Yeah, it really was interesting, Rain. And again, each recipe was fine.
Well, I thought I messed it up because I used pectin. But then not finding out, I knew that they were going to be there. We have some people who eat kosher, so I made beans and turkey bacon, and then I took the two desserts, one with gelatin and the one with the pectin, and I made sure I told them what was what. And then when at the end of the night, I had beans and turkey bacon left over. And they said, I said, I had so many. If you want some to take home, you are more than welcome. And she said, heck yeah. And I said, I'll have this dessert. She said, your dessert was delicious also. And I said, I have some dessert left over, but it's the gelatin one. And she goes, I'll take the beans and bacon. And I was like, are you sure I can't give this to you? Because I have a whole nother one in the fridge.
Yeah.
Because I made the one to go and then I made one for us. And so she was like, well, maybe the kids would eat a little bit of it. So
well, they were both delicious.
And then they had company over too. So they're nieces. So
yeah, they were delicious, but I found it interesting that I enjoyed the pectin one more.
I thought so too.
Because again, I said it was flat, but the difference is one was creamy like cheesecake and one was more spongy like a marshmallow.
Yes. And I do understand the spongy. It was more gelatiny.
More gelatiny, yeah.
Boingy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, again, both was really, really good. But I think
they both were peppermint. They both were creamy. They both were graham crackers.
Yeah, one was a cheesecake and one was a meringue cake.
not meringue.
Yeah, it's also more spongy.
Yeah.
You know, so whether you,
Fluffier.
yeah, but again, it was good. It was absolutely good either way. Okay, so we talked about the live. Do we decide we're going to do live next week on Sunday? I think that's right?
Yeah, I think we should, because with you getting back on Saturday and then timing and all of that, I think that it would just give you a little bit extra time.
I think I'll make it back Friday, just so you know.
Oh no, you are, but
just be
looking
late.
at the time, it will be cutting it close to the 7 o'clock. So I mean,
Sunday
you'll get in time, but then getting your bags and getting through not security, but getting in your car and then driving and I think that the weather is supposed to be okay too. I was looking at that to make sure that it wasn't going to be like.
Starla says, does anyone have a roll-out shading system for parts of your garden? I need ideas on how to do it. Yeah, so we have shade cloths for our garden. Starla, last year when we were going through the heat, I went and bought enough of them for B to cover her garden. We didn't end up using them, but how I intended to do it was just with T-posts. I was going to drive T-posts. Now I bought them the right size for her garden.
The shade cloth are the black netted.
Yes.
They're like kind of like holes in them, but not real holes. They were woven.
Yeah. But what I was going to do is just put a T-post every 8 feet.
Elevate them up in the in the air.
Yep. And I'd make you like maybe out of PVC. Right? Because PVC bends real easy. And so a 2-inch PVC will slide over the top of a T-post. I was just going to bend it over, strap it down, and there you go.
How are you going to strap it to it?
I would just zip tie it to the bottom, or whatever it is.
That would work because it had holes in it, so you wouldn't be poking anything in it.
Rain says, I see the dense version being pretty good too. I use grass-fed beef gelatin when I make it, so it is kosher.
Yeah.
Most think that gelatin means it's not kosher. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I did not have beef gelatin.
Okay.
It was pig gelatin.
Okay. You see, One Step Closer says, but what I want to know is what happened to all the squash.
I traded some for some pants. Mrs. Hacks got some pants and I needed to pay her cash. And she said, do you want to give me some squash? And I said, yes.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about a cool deal, right?
Super happy, right?
Oh, well, yeah. I got 2 pairs of 511s.
Yeah. 511 pants.
511s are expensive pants, right? I got 2 brand new pairs of 511s and she traded squash away. So tell me how this deal's bad at all.
You can't eat them pants, buddy.
I can't eat the squash. We're even.
Yes, you can. If you were starving, it'd be better than wood pulp and, I don't know, turds.
Yeah. Let me see here. Where are we at here? Okay, so Eagle Ever says, that's what I'm going to do. T-posts and PVC and cattle panel hoops. Yeah.
Cattle panel hoops.
Yeah, because you could bend the cattle panel with them. But I think one of the things about the cloth that I would really want to focus on is being able to roll it up.
Well, you can roll it up from the sides.
You could.
See, I don't think that the shade cloth was as long as the row covers. I think the row covers you got would have went over an arch and all the way to the bottom. I don't think that the shade covers would have gone all the way over and down.
Well, no, that
might 10 feet.
So you'll be able to bend it pretty good.
That was the shade cloth or the row covers were. They were both the same size.
I think it's 10 foot by 100. I think, if I remember right. Let me see here. We have Seawood powder gelatin over here. Interesting.
Wow.
Never heard of such a thing, Philippine.
I actually, the lady that eats kosher, she said that she found some beef gelatin. She had to buy it from Amazon, but she said you really have to look for it. I've never even thought to get beef gelatin, but I saw it on her video and it was too late to be ordering something. Plus I hate giving my money to Amazon, but
what we need to do is find people who we can trade for, like Philippine, what can we have to trade him to get some Seawood powder gelatin?
Seawood?
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's
Seawood?
seaweed. It says seawood, but it must mean seaweed. I don't know.
Or maybe over at the Amish country, they might have it if we went over there.
Yeah. Starlet says, hey, to you all looking for land, here are prices good and land is available. Yeah, and Starlet, I'm not going to tell them for you, but if you want to tell them where here is, that would probably be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, agar is what that is. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I have that too from when we used to be vegan, but it can add an odd flavor to sweet dishes. Oh, interesting. Big Kid says tag one twice.
Yeah.
Bam. Mic drop. Eagle Lover just fixing to say that same thing, even if you had to stand it up and drape it over the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I like about the idea of the cattle panels is your idea, because you could take it all the way to the ground, cut them, burn the edges, right, so it wouldn't fray, and then attach them with a zip tie at the top. So if you wanted to roll them up, you just roll them up, bungee them together.
Why would you
every
cut
10
them?
feet, because it's 100 feet long.
Oh, you mean that length? Yeah.
Cut it at the right length. Just make them permanent. And then when it's time to roll them up, they're there through the winter, and then they're always there.
Wouldn't they degrade through the seasons?
Over time, it would. Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Where did I even? Okay, where's that at? Okay, Starla says the Texas Panhandle. White or black shade cover. Black for us. Yeah, Eagle Lover says black too. Seaweed powder.
Yeah, agar.
Hey, B, how many types of squash do you plant? 2, right? You did last year. Because you did butternut and you did the
I did
Lufus.
the crook. Well, and I did the crook neck, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
did the green ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those were squash also. They look like zucchinis, but they were squash.
So 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did 4 last year, and I'm paying the price for it now. Rain Country says seaweed powder is called agar. Yeah, okay.
You're not paying the price. I get to use loofahs all year long now.
I don't have to eat the loofahs.
Lucky guy.
I know, right? Rain Country, I used to do whole food plant-based. I have some agar left over from making vegan cheese. Yeah, no offense to anybody, but there is nothing that sounds good about vegan cheese to me.
Vegan cheese.
Nothing. Seaweed is high iodine content, right? Which there's some uses for that.
I can see that.
You know, Canyon has one of the best. Carlene's an hour from me. Come up and I will take you Mexican food to the Canyon. A little sleep last few days. Yeah, why have you had a little sleep?
Because he said seawood.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yep, that's exactly why I have it too. Haha. Yep. Yeah, I think there would definitely be some advantages to that. Got to warm this place up before I have to put Jasper to bed. That dog is spoiled. Yeah, she talks about this dog, Jules. And for those of you guys who haven't met Jules' dog, I've met him. And, he rolled out of the car and waddled his way the whole way. That dog is spoiled rotten. Whatever do you keep the wind in mind?
As far as the shade cloths and covers and keeping it down.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
Because you get any of those droops in there and that wind just starts picking it up. But the cool thing about shade cloths got holes in it.
That you just zip it down wherever.
So, yeah, zip it down tight, and then those holes will let most of it through. I think I'll plant about 4 types of squash myself this year. Yeah. Rain Country says a much better dairy-free cheese, though, can be made from the leftover pulp after making nut milk, in particular cashew or any blend of cashew. I like cashews.
Would you drink nut milk?
I would try it. I will try
almond milk.
I will try anything.
Cashew milk.
Almond milk wasn't bad. I tried it. I'm not a big fan of soy milk.
Yeah.
So I would try it.
Probably shouldn't be drinking soy milk anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know why we needed. I like regular milk perfectly.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, I would try
it. To get all cranky.
I'm not all cranky. Get to the ocean side and get some great iodine-filled sea breeze. Yeah, we're a long ways from an open. Just to clarify, I have not been a vegan since my early 40s, and I will be 57 next month. I would not have guessed you for 57, Rain Country. Congratulations. Green striped couchas. What is that? These are the different ones he's planting, the squash. So green striped
okay.
cushaws. What's this one? Tahitian melon, butternut, and acorn.
And acorn.
My dad will plant some zucchini and crooked necks. Yeah, I like zucchini better than I like squash. The first thing out of Tag's mouth at the moment I met him was, "You need to feed that dog." Yeah, dude, he's rounder than he is long. Starla says, "I must be nutty. Then I plant 8 types of pumpkins, 12 kinds of winter squash, and 9 kinds of summer squash. You must like squash." Ghetto says, "Great live tonight. I appreciate the time and knowledge, Tag and B. Got to head out. Everyone stay strapped up and resist. Freedom and God bless all." Yep. Resist is a great word, and stay strapped up is a great word. And Ghetto, you have yourself a great night, and you keep those skinny jeans and bun tight. All right, buddy? Vanessa says, 57, I would not have guessed. Yeah, I mean, either.
Yeah.
Rain Country says no soy.
Yeah, no soy.
Yep, growing my squash, pumpkins, and cucumbers on cattle panels this year. A lot less weeding that way. Yeah, Richard, that's how we do it. I go place the T-post 8 foot apart, and then I bend a 16 foot T-post down into it, which makes the top headspace at almost 6 feet. So I've got to bend a little bit when I get underneath there, but B walks right under it. Yep. Yeah, got to go. Y'all have a blessed evening. C. Roberts, good night to you. Tag, I thought I was going to get to see Jasper and Jules, but we got lost. Yeah, that's all right. Is 57 old? That's my age. No, it's not old at all. I just, when all I was saying is in the time that I visited with Rain Country and seen her on video and those things, I just wouldn't have guessed 50. It's like potatoes. Tag, he looked totally different if I get him shaved down again. Yeah, he might look different if you made him extra in bed while you stroked his head as he fell asleep. He also might look different. Tag, if you eat soy, you will have a man bun and skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pretty much eat whatever B says. And, I get a lot of heat for being picky, but I'm really not.
Non-picky eater, I've seen, yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't like all this frou-frou stuff. Give me a donut with some, cream filling and chocolate sauce on top. And yeah, will you eat the Brussels sprout? No.
Not if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So you would say I am a picky eater.
You're pickier than you think you are.
That's not what I asked. And under your definition, am I a picky eater?
You would like me to not give you any fat on your meat cuts and your, you would even prefer me to cut it up for you if you.
Why would I not? It's one less thing I have to do.
Would you like me to chew it for you too?
Oh my goodness.
And then I'll put the chocolate sauce in his milk and I'll put the milk in there, put the straw in there and set it on the table. And he's like, "Why can't you stir it for me? I don't like the stuff in the bottom." And I'm like, "You can't stir your milk yourself. I put this in the cup, yo.
You don't understand.
Stir it before you suck it."
You don't understand. There's 2 points to this that are super important.
Yes, dear.
Okay, the first one is if sometimes you stir it and sometimes you don't, and I don't notice whether it's stirred or not, I suck it up and get a big mouthful of syrup. And it's gross. It tastes, it's like
the milk looks white, I need to stir it.
I always stir it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's being picky. Do you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why can't you just give it a little swirl and look at the straw before you suck it?
Well, she's on a roll tonight,
No, I'm not. Yes, dear. I'll chew your meat for you.
Okay, do that again. As you wish.
As you wish.
Oh my goodness.
Stand
okay.
on one leg. Bark like a dog.
Jim says, "I'm 57. I tell my wife I'm like a good bottle of wine. I get better with age." Amen. Starla says, "One step closer. Have you tried honey oat delicate or Illinois white cushaw or mashed potato squash?"
Mashed potato squash.
Philippine Nomad's 56 years young. Just a matter of perspective. Yep. Still Raw says, "I wish I was 57 again." Starla says, "Not yet. I'm just getting back into gardening again." Yep. Yeah. I have used 2x4 frame with deer netting stretched over it. Cattle panel kind of expensive, and I need a total of 3,600 feet of trestling. That's a lot. Yeah, Rain Country's playing the violin.
Yeah, that's for you.
Oh no! Oh no! No no! I think what Rain Country is playing the violin for you. You were so spoiled and you have it so good. The least you could do is mix my milk.
That is not
That's
what
she's
saying.
saying. Yes, that's what she's saying.
No, she's saying stir your own milk.
I don't
You're
think so.
a grown man.
Nope, I don't think so. Yeah, let me see. Where are we at here? Just got home from work. Hey, Mary Michelle, how are you? Jules says I rock hours. They take showers with me. Doggy massages. I dress them. I make doggy donuts. Rotten, spoiled to the core. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. Big Kid says their weather must be getting worse. I wonder if he's talking about us. I wonder if they're having a hard time hearing us or seeing us or any of that stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, welcome, Mary Michelle.
Temperature's dropping, so.
Yeah, it might be. See what else I have on my list today. Let me see. One step closer. Look me up on freesteading. Yep. Hey guys, we've been talking about me and like getting deep with data and Bobby Spags and some of the other guys have been talking about doing a podcast. Maybe once every other week or something where 4 or 5 or 6 of us get online and just talk about being ungovernable and those kind of things. Would you guys be interested in listening to that if we spent the time putting something like that together?
Is it a podcast is just on the radio?
Just audio.
Station,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just download a podcast, Let me see here. Rain Country said B Tag got it right. I turned 54 Monday and feel old. Thank you for sticking up for me, Heidi. Me and Heidi, we're tight.
You need to clean your glasses.
Oh yeah, guys, I'm sorry about the connection. There's just nothing I can do about it. I wish I could.
I was gonna look and see if the internet was back on.
Yeah. You see what you got on your end. Because I don't know if I could switch from my phone back to the regular internet if it was back on. But yeah, she still don't have internet. So if you guys can hear us just fine, that'll be cool. I guess at least for a little bit, right? I would love to listen to a podcast with you guys. Yeah, we're thinking about maybe just creating one and just doing it, maybe once every 2 weeks or, once a month or something like that. But, if nobody's interested, I really don't want to do it because it's just a lot of work. But if everybody's interested, then maybe we could go through and do that. What else we got? Hey guys, don't forget Midwest Preparedness Project is at the end of April, last week in April. And I would love for you guys to come out. And I'd love to meet all of you if I can. LJC says she can hear us fine. Yeah, cool. See, look, Rain Country even said I was funny. Yeah. So she agrees with me that at least you could do is stir the milk, and she thinks I'm funny.
No, I don't think she is. That's why she stuck her tongue out at you. She knows you. She knows.
Yeah. The greatest thing about the Midwest Preparedness Project, it's free.
Yep. Come and go as you want.
Come and go as you want. Come do whatever.
Watch the classes or don't. Because there'll be classes that you can partake in, or you could just sit back and chit chat.
Yep, which is what I like to do.
There's a potluck usually. There's a barter town. There's sometimes a seed exchange. I don't know if they're going to do that again or not. Barter
town. You said that already?
Yep.
Potluck, you said that?
Yep.
Seed exchange, yep. The best part about the Midwest Preparedness Project, and there's a bunch of people in here who have been, it's just really a chill event. It's not like any of the other festivals you go to where you buy a ticket and walk all day long and your feet hurt. I mean, I literally, when I go out there, very rarely do I speak. I will if they ask me to. I try not to. And usually I try to just spend my day in a lawn chair.
Yeah. You can go and take a nap whenever you want.
Yeah, that's what I try to do.
Bring a hammock. Kid friendly. You can bring your kids and you can trust the people around there.
Yeah, and totally free.
Jasper's welcome, so you can bring your dogs.
Yep. Just be respectful, respect other people's opinion, and everybody will get along fine. But it's totally different than any of the rest of the festivals. Where is the Midwest deal? So Starlight, it's in Northeast Kansas the last weekend in April. and we do 2 every single year. And this one in the spring here will be our 20th that we've done. I used to put them all on in the early years myself, and then a good buddy of mine, Data, began, and he's kind of really does it all now. I don't really have a lot to do with it, but Bobby Spags and Data and a lot of those guys really take the leadership role in that.
Yeah. And sometimes they have like giveaways.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's always giveaways. And but really it's just about camaraderie. You know how cool it is to sit around a big circle with 55 or 60 or 100 people and just feel normal.
Yeah.
And laugh at each other and make fun of each other. I mean, that's really just the best.
And they have opportunity tickets where you can like win a big prize.
Yeah. Silver Lining says fellowship was the best part. Yeah, I totally agree. Silver Lining. And I go to a lot of festivals and they're all cool. They're just all very different. And what I like about the Midwest one is it's just chill.
It is.
It's not
laid back.
Yeah. It's not, there's not a green room where, the speakers go and hide or any of that. It's not like that. It's really like
there isn't any of that.
Right. It's really just a bunch of people camping and hanging out and eating and making fun of each other. And, those.
Bring a chair.
Bring a chair. Yep. Half bubble off plum. Good evening to you. Had to go rescue my son that broke down.
Oh no.
Yeah, but good news. You're there, right? For the first time in my life, I actually felt old on my birthday. At 68, it sucks when the mind is willing, but the body isn't. Yeah. Yeah, my dad would always complain about that before he died. He would always talk about how his brain was so young, but his body just couldn't do it anymore. I use a YouTube downloader site and then convert to MP4 or MP3 for listening later. Oh, cool. Yep, normal. Rain Country says. Yeah, normal, in meaning that I think what she's referring to, as I said, makes you feel normal, meaning that you're around people who are very like-minded and what they're trying to do is grow better food and raise better kids and be left alone, right? Not have the thumb put on you. And so it's a whole bunch of people like that. So I feel perfectly normal while I'm there, when in most places I feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Now if someone would stir my milk, I might have more confidence and I'd feel better.
Probably not.
No? Okay. Yep. And Stephanie, you are more than welcome. What used to be normal? Yeah, maybe what used to be normal, LJC. Maybe that's what I meant, Oklahoma Homesteaders Expo is June 2nd through the 3rd in Pryor, Oklahoma, Morgan County Fairgrounds. Stacy and Doug will be there. Arms Family Farms, Gardening with Leon, Dutch Patty, etc. Let me see. And that is in what? Pryor, Oklahoma. I'm trying to remember where Pryor was. Starlit Oak. Where's Pryor? I know Oklahoma fairly good. Is that more like an Oklahoma City or more like a Tulsa or a
Norman?
A Norman, yeah. Anyway, I'd be interested. My brain is 18. Unfortunately, my body is 63.
You think your brain is 18?
I would not say 18 because I was an idiot at 18. But
30?
I would say my brain is 20 or 30. Like I feel super alert. And
20 or 30?
Yeah, right in there. My brain feels 50. My body feels 50. Like once, you get up in the morning and it hurts. But once I get going, I'm fine. Like I barely hurt at all or anything. And then you slow down. Like tonight, when I go lay down and sit down in the bed and then 30 minutes get up, my knees hurt, my feet hurt, my everything hurts. As long as I'm moving, I'm fine.
Yeah. A body in motion.
That's right. Yes. The right to be left alone. Aloha. That's what I think. I think that's really the key is, I don't think we should be judging a lot of people. I don't judge whether I agree or I don't agree. I don't judge. And I think people should, as long as they're not hurting somebody, should be left alone to live the life how they want. But I want to be left alone to live my life how I want. And I should not have to call somebody by whatever, I should be able to live life according to my terms as well. I got what you meant by normal. Free thinking people are outside the norm. They are. And I love being around all these people. Joel says, don't forget the Vision Preparedness has a bug out weekend, the 2nd through the 4th in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah. Yeah. I would love to meet you guys and get to know personally, get vacay with good people. Yeah. Stephanie, you are more than welcome. And if you can figure out a way to make it, let me know, and I'll make sure, Stephanie, to walk you around and introduce you to everybody. Most of these people who will be there, the vast majority of them, Stephanie, I've known for a decade personally. I mean, it's super, super, what's cool? Here's another good example, Stephanie. We've been doing it now. This is the 20th. And did you know we've never had a fist fight? Never one. We've never had the cops called, not a single time. I mean, all these crazy preppers and homesteaders all in this one location, yet we've never had a problem like that. And I think that's pretty cool. Starlet says, in reality, my brain is 20, my body is 54, but feels 100. But in my dreams, I'm Superwoman. Yeah. Big Kid says, I think I'm 25. I am 51. My body thinks it's 75. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Big Kid, by the way, how's your thermal generator going? All right, what else we got here, babe?
So the Midwest Preparedness Festival is a camp out. So
yeah,
bring a tent, or a camper.
Yeah, no, you don't have to. You can go stay in a hotel too.
Yeah, where's the
like we don't
hotel?
Even would probably be Topeka. So 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
We don't camp out there anymore because we have animals. But we will get up in the morning, do our chores, drive out there, spend the whole day out there, drive home, do our chores, go to sleep, get up, drive back. Because it's about 30 minutes from me.
And it's not far.
Yeah, it's just not all that far.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby Q, what's going on, bud? My grandmother used to say, getting old ain't for wimps. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. So anyway, you got Midwest Preparedness Project. And then the end of March, Self-Reliance Festival, I'll be down there. Yes. Right? The end of this month, actually next week, I leave for Georgia.
Yep.
Right? And you get the family the whole time, which would be cool. The house is going to be packed and I won't be here to deal with it.
Yeah. And it's your family. Well, your blood.
Yeah, your family too.
They're my family. I love them. Yeah, your sister's way cool. She helps out whenever. Yeah. She's so willing to help and do whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's super cool. I've been invited to go up and speak in Michigan in July. Starla Dokes is basically the Tulsa area. Yeah, that's not far from me at all. That's a 4-hour drive.
3. I thought it was 3.
Is it 3? I mean, it's not. It's just not that far. I could make one of them pretty easy if you wanted to go.
Well, we have animals.
Well, I understand. We could, go drive down in the morning, have one of the kids do them. It's fine. What else do we got going on? Oh, I found one thing interesting. I was watching. Did you know that the Russians are using the same balloons they were shooting down over here over the Ukraine?
The Russians are?
Yeah. They always blame the Chinese on all of it, but the Russians are using that. That doesn't, say the Chinese are involved, but I just found that interesting. And when they asked the Russians why they were using balloons, they said just to eat up the air defense resources because they have to use missiles and stuff to shoot them down. They're just trying to burn through their resources, which I thought that was an interesting take.
Did you see anything about the black balloon that you saw zipping through the sky on that video?
Yeah, that was weird. There's a video out there on Facebook. If you go to Life Done Free on Facebook, I posted it on there. I think it's fake because of the speed, but there's a guy standing on a road and you can see a white balloon coming at him.
No, it's a black balloon.
Is it black? No, it's
No,
anyway, this balloon is coming at him and it's maybe 30 feet in the air and it whips by him and then he turns back and here comes an FA-18 Hornet right on its ass. And then they kind of disappear.
And then it was 2, right?
There's two planes, yeah. But it was pretty interesting. Jules said, I got a new tent for Midwest too. I got envious of that big, beautiful tent I saw there last year, so I saved up and bought one. Oh, good for you.
Wow.
I'm moving forward and got the exhaust welded on the burner and the case wall sandwiched between, and then got the secondary air intakes on. Yeah, cool. Carlene, good night to you. Any ideas on what to use a slide in pickup camper on skids for? Yeah, I can tell you my neighbor uses those pickup campers all the time for places where pigs have babies.
A pickup camper?
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of camper.
Yeah, all the time.
I was thinking that tent thing that one guy had in his pickup.
Yeah.
You're talking about a hard shell camper topper.
In some outdoor organic homegrown we grew, laugh out loud. Do you think that's a thing there? Smoking? Oh, I'm sure tons of it. Yeah. I feel like balloons are a distraction. I kind of think they're a distraction too. I'm still trying to put my finger on it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
There's the what's if it's over here and then something's going on over here, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And when they say it doesn't make sense, it's usually something else.
Yeah. Yeah, balloon is distraction, says Aloha. Yeah, they're worth big bucks to the right people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand the whole balloon thing because, what would they possibly gain? Intelligence, whatever. But I think we're going to see in these next coming weeks what it's really about. I don't really totally understand it yet. I'm
I don't
trying to
think that
understand, So, truck campers. Yep. Big kid. What is worth big bucks? Yeah. Let me see. They're worth big bucks to the right people. Yeah. Truck campers.
Mm.
Yeah. We can, if you guys go to an auction, like especially out here, we go to these auctions and you'll see quite often where you can buy a camper for the back of a truck for $5. And my neighbor does this and he drags it home and then puts it up a little bit so the pigs can get underneath it. And he's
done chickens in there.
He's done sheep
in there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All of the above. I hope you guys can still hear me. Okay. My thing's telling me that I have unstable internet. So let me see. Big kid. I paid $1 for it, picking it up tomorrow. Yeah. You can't beat that. Right.
Yeah.
So great place maybe you can make a chicken tractor out of it.
Yeah.
Right. If they can get up out of the rain. Yeah. There's all kinds of cool stuff. You could, stick it up on a couple pallets, put maybe 2 pallets on each side on its end and stick it up. It'd be a great place to store firewood. Right. Keep the rain off of it. Right.
Keep the snow. Yeah.
And in fact, if it was an 8-foot bed, you could put them up on pallets and then park those crates that I store food, up underneath. I could come up with all kinds of things to do with it.
Yeah.
Talking about camper shells, right? Yeah. He's talking about truck bed campers. Oh yeah. Yeah. Those are worth big money.
They have a bed in them and a refrigerator and a sink.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, I've been hogging it. You got a whole list. What else you got?
No, I read through. These are my notes from here. So
okay.
I got the Christmas gifts sent out from the.
Yeah, I'm so embarrassed about that. We ran a Christmas contest for the art contest. And so these young kids won this contest and we owed them a tank top. That's what they wanted. Liberty and Freedom was their name. And so we ordered them and we just got them. So we're just now sending out the winners to the Christmas contest, which we announced in January. So here we are, January and February. I'm in the middle of February, 6 weeks after they won it. And I finally got them. How embarrassing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, ugh.
Yeah. Well, I put that order in after I got the last order. So it was, I ordered 2 items.
Yeah.
Which is not a good idea. It's a whole lot harder to get 2 items than it is to get.
Hey, ACM Homestead, how are you? Good night, all. Yep, well, good. If you're leaving, then good night for you. I didn't know you were here, but I'm glad you were. Yep, super glad.
They should have gotten it today.
I found the Ukrainian thing super interesting. But let me see what else I got on here. Oh, I found it was interesting. 2 Americans said that 2 nuclear-armed Russian bombers flew just on the edge of Alaska yesterday.
Why?
Just a show of force, probably. I mean, I thought that was pretty interesting, too. I'd be curious also, we were talking about Michigan, if anybody's in here that lives close to Michigan. I don't know what it's like up there, but...
Cold.
Rain Country says, by the way, did the package from us arrive yet? Not yet.
No.
Yep, not yet. Tomorrow is the day, Rain Country. Yeah, I don't know.
It'll be Friday. Yay!
Yeah, let me see. Big Kid says they go for $5K plus if they are old and rebuildable a lot of times. He's talking about the campers for the back of the trucks, yeah. Just do not know what to do with it. There are more around cheaply. Yeah, if it's just a camper shell, that's what I was talking about. The actual campers that go in the back of a truck, I think anything else you did with it besides the camping, you destroy it. You can't have pigs in there. And
no, well, because there's a narrow spot to walk in and then beds on the sides. And then,
that wouldn't be a good idea.
It wouldn't be used. You can use it for, guests.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be curious, Indiana Mike and LJC, are you guys going to make it to the camp out at the end of April? I'd be curious. Aloha says, great idea on the truck campers. Yeah, I can think of all kinds of stuff, just like firewood. One of the rubs with firewood is if you cover it in a tarp, the pack rats, or at least in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
The pack rats make nests in them. And so
they poop everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you got all of that issue. So the one cool thing about the camper shells you could get the rain off of it, but leave enough space, maybe they wouldn't make the nest in there.
I don't know. Wouldn't the rain still blow in from the sides?
You might, yeah, it might get a little bit of wet, but if you had pallets sitting on the side, where the boards are like this, you would block so much of the rain. It might still get a little bit, but it certainly isn't going to get like what we have now.
Yeah, it wouldn't settle in on it.
Yeah. Hit the RV and boondocking sites and put them up for sale. They will fly. Oh, I really hate this fifth wheel. I have to heat it up 15 to 20 times a day and then come upstairs to put Jazz to bed, and all the heat has come up here. Yeah.
You have an upstairs in your fifth wheel?
Yeah. Must be nice. Heat rises, Jules.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the U.S. government was called out for blowing up the Russian Nord Stream pipeline? I did hear this. And I actually think the balloons might just simply be a distraction to get the heat off of that. Yeah. Did you mean truck bed canopy? I don't know. We here call them toppers.
Just a hard shell.
Mm-hmm. I've made wood sheds and chicken coops and tool sheds using old camper shells. My honey bunny is coming with our youngest bunny, a father and son thing. I'll be home taking care of the animals and our other bunnies. Yep. Well, that'll be cool. I'm actually would like to get to know your son, LJC. I look forward to that experience.
He'll have fun too.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to try to do birdhouses.
Yeah.
The kids.
Yes. And everything blowing up. Yeah. It's just tons of distraction because I actually kind of buy it that we were responsible for that because it separated by blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline. We separated Germany from Russia, which was really the mission of all of that, right? Hey, good night, Silver Lining. And hey, big congratulations on your accomplishments. Yep. Super, super proud of you. But anyway, so if they separated Germany from Russia and Germany wasn't going to buy its resources from Russia anymore, that creates quite the divide down there. And so, yeah. Let's see. Are railroad ties worth anything? Yeah, actually, railroad ties are worth good money to a lot of people. They're not worth a lot to me. They're so because they're soaked in creosote. And so I guess I really don't want that kind of stuff anywhere on my land, as far as the leaching stuff goes. But I mean, there's a lot of people who would use them for retaining walls and, a million other things. Joel says, bite me tag. I know heat rises, silly. But I've been so frustrated all day because I can't keep any heat in the main living area. So here's the thing, Jules. So fans, ceiling fans.
Put a fan up there.
Yeah, and depending upon which way you click the button, it moves one way or the other. One way will push the air down. The other way will pull the air up. Richard Hike said Russia called for a UN meeting over the Nord Stream attack, and as they should. The U.S. is so jealous of Russia. I don't know so much, and I could be wrong here, Stephanie. I don't know so much about how they're jealous as they are narcissists. That we want to control the whole world and we think we're so much better than everybody else. I don't know what they'd be jealous necessarily. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm going to think on that, Stephanie. I'm going to chew on the jealousy comment. I've never really seen it as jealousy, but that doesn't make it right. Let me see. Hang blankets on the hallway opening so that it stays in the main area and put plastic over the windows.
Yeah. To keep the heat in that area.
Yeah, Stephanie says we want their resources. But yeah, see, I agree with this, but we want everybody's resources. It's not just Russia, right? We know so much more than everybody else. We just want to conquer control the entire world. And yet we're as corrupt as any, I think, as any country out there. Jules, we use ceramic heater for backup in the living areas. I have 3 steps up to a bedroom and bathroom, a lot warmer. Yeah. Yeah, I would think a fan would go a long way.
Yeah.
Or close the door to the bedroom till right before you go to bed, and then you open the door and all the heat goes in there,
Yeah.
Maybe, where we live, we heat primarily with wood. And so when it's 70 degrees downstairs, it's 85 degrees upstairs, right? It's hot up there. And so there's times this winter, guys, when it was 13 degrees outside of my bedroom, windows open. It was so freaking hot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, open the window.
Yeah, it cools it off fast.
Yeah. The only fan in this thing is down in the living room. Starlit Oak, there's no hallway, just 3 steps up to a bedroom. Yeah, do you have a door or anything?
What about hang a blanket?
Yeah, hang a blanket, which is
we had what we call Mexican blankets. They're
Mhm.
like the woven ones we got from Mexico, and we would hang those in the staircases and in the doorways because they were just the perfect size of a door, and they were thicker.
Yeah.
They have fringe on both sides.
Yeah.
We'd hang those in the doorways, and then at the stairway, and then we never plastic the windows, but we had store windows on the outside and then other windows on the inside. So
we plastic our windows. The windows behind us, those are all got plastic on all of them.
yeah, because we had negative 40-degree weather. And I didn't know what was going to happen because I'd never seen that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever been that cold up here.
Yeah, it was cold. Yeah, I don't know if anybody likes minus 41-degree weather, but I do not.
But you've taken the windows off you've taken the plastic on off the other windows.
Yep. New Day Farm says, oops. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because Jules said that she had one, but someone took it out to their truck and blew it when they plugged it in.
Oops.
Yeah. Just, hey, blankets over the opening of a plastic on the windows. Oh, there's a pocket door at the bedroom. I should close that thing. That's what I would do. Just close the door. Close it.
Yeah.
And then get a fan moving the air around.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Pocket doors. I love pocket doors. Anybody else? You like pocket doors?
Mm-hmm.
Except you can get stuff back in there that's hard to get them out.
Back in there, yeah.
Hard to get them out. I don't really got anything else. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
Starla, I have reflective insulation on all my windows already because of the heat. Yeah.
Reflective insulation.
Well, the problem with trailers is they don't, the campers and trailers like that, they don't stay very warm.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing underneath them, right? Is wind.
Yeah.
Do you have any hay or anything, hay bales around the outside?
Does she have skirting is what I would be asking. Yeah, is there skirting around the bottom of the trailer? Because that does a lot to keep that wind from blowing up underneath there,
Mm-hmm.
Jules plastic will help. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys, I think we're going to cut out of here at 2 hours tonight. My internet is still acting weird. And, we might surprise y'all with a live on Sunday or something, just, catch up or whatever it is. We'll see how it goes. But we're going to get out of here. So I guess I would just tell you, oh, Helen, hello, Tag and B. Hey, how are you?
Hello, Helen.
Yeah. Yep, walls are 2 inches thick. Aloha says, I'm surprised at how drafty our new windows are. They don't make things like they used to, unless you're willing to spend big money.
Yeah.
So that thing is special. There is no skirting and many, and so many holes. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But good news is you live in Texas, but thank you guys for coming. Thank you for putting up with the horrible internet, but this is the best my phone had to offer tonight. So it just is what it is, I guess. Yeah. But hopefully it'll be back on, and maybe we'll get on here Sunday night here in just a couple of days and fill you guys in and give you back that hour. But it's just getting out of control here on my end. So plus I'm tired. I had a long day. So got anything you want to say before we leave?
Don't let the small stuff keep you down.
That's a good one.
Things don't go as planned. Just like I always say, keep on going.
Yeah. What about do what your husband says?
I wasn't going to say that one.
How about always mix your husband's milk?
Stir it.
Stir
his milk and chew his food like a little baby bird.
LJC says it was fine. It was nice to see your fuzzy little faces. That's great. Yep. Anything else you want to say?
No, just keep on keeping on.
Yeah. I think I would reiterate what we were talking about earlier. And really this came from Big Kid, that we were talking about, which is, everybody's at a different place in their journey. Don't judge, encourage, bring up the bottom, bring up the bottom, bring up the bottom. Because if all you focus on is the top, you're never going to build anything. Celebrate those little victories. Every time someone inside this community, just like Silver Lining, who, made this huge step toward freedom, let's celebrate them, and I just think it's absolutely amazing. And, so I'm going to celebrate that and just try to remember that everybody's at a different place, and let's just be encouraging and help try to build our community. Other than that, hold the line, don't give an inch. And I guess we're going to go to bed. And Heidi has the last words, which she said, don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out. Yep. Yep.
Be out.
Be out, tag out. We'll see you guys. Have a good night.